Hey everyone, and welcome. So, if you've been keeping an eye on the crypto space lately, you've probably felt it. Things just seem, well, quiet, kind of stuck. Today, we're going to dig into an analysis from Intellectia.ai to try and figure out what's really happening behind this market standstill. Let's get right into it.
And that's the big question, right? Why does everything feel so stuck? Is this just the market taking a breather, or are there some deeper currents pulling it sideways? We're going to tackle this by looking at the whole market, zeroing in on Bitcoin's role, and then checking out a specific example to see how it all connects.
Okay, first things first, let's pull back and look at the big picture. Before we get into any one coin, we've got to understand the general vibe of the market. And right now, according to our source, that vibe is pretty sluggish.
So here's the real issue in a nutshell. There's just a massive lack of momentum. This isn't just one or two cryptos having an off day. It's a feeling across the entire market. There just isn't enough buying power, enough enthusiasm to really push prices higher. So how do we know this? What are the signs?
Well, it really comes down to a tool that analysts use all the time called Simple Moving Averages, or SMAs. Now, don't let the technical name throw you off. All it does is smooth out the choppy, day-to-day price action to give you a clean trend line. It helps you see the real direction the price is heading over, say, the last 20 or 50 days.
And here's where it gets telling. The analysis points out that most altcoins, that's pretty much everything besides Bitcoin, are trading below their 20 and 50-day trend lines. That's a huge red flag. It means their current prices are weaker than their recent average, which signals a serious lack of buying power. It also suggests that any little price pop we see is probably not going to last.
So you gotta ask, why are all these other coins so weak? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is the 800-pound gorilla in the room, Bitcoin.
And this chart just lays it out perfectly. Look at that. Bitcoin makes up 57% of the entire crypto market's value. Just let that sink in. A single asset holds more than half the market, leaving thousands of other projects to fight over what's left.
And what does that mean in real terms? It means that when new money flows into crypto right now, a huge chunk of it is going straight to Bitcoin. It's like a giant capital magnet, sucking in investment and leaving the altcoin market pretty starved for cash. It's hard for other coins to get any traction when Bitcoin is taking up all the oxygen.
Okay, so that's the high-level theory. But let's bring this down to earth and look at a real-world example. We're going to zoom in on a classic altcoin, Litecoin, and see exactly how these big market forces are playing out. And this quote from the Intellectia.ai report just nails it. Litecoin isn't crashing and burning. Not at all. It's just there. It's stable, but it's stuck below those key trend lines we talked about, which is a classic sign that the buyers just don't have the upper hand. All right, let's roll up our sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to look at the specific technical signals for Litecoin, because this is where the plot really thickens. And here it is, the twist. After everything we've talked about, the market weakness, the lack of momentum, the AI platform's final overall signal for Litecoin is actually a buy. So, what gives? Is this a hidden opportunity, or is something else going on? And that's exactly the question we need to ask. You can't just take a big buy signal at face value. You've got to pop the hood and see what the engine actually looks like. So to do that, we need to understand one more quick tool, the RSI, or Relative Strength Index. All this does is measure momentum. It tells you if something is being bought up way too fast, which is called overbought, or sold off way too fast, oversold. For Litecoin, the RSI is smack in the middle, neutral.
And this is where the picture gets really muddy. Even though the system says buy, the details are telling a different story. The price is below its long-term trend lines. The RSI is neutral. Another key momentum indicator, the MACD, is also neutral. And on top of all that, the report points out there's still a lot of selling pressure. It's a total contradiction.
So to make sense of this mess, traders look at specific price levels. You can think of support as a floor the price has a hard time falling through. And resistance is like a ceiling it struggles to break above. These levels are where the battles between buyers and sellers get fought. So here are the key numbers for Litecoin right now. That pivot point around 55.5 is kind of the center of gravity. The ceiling, or resistance, is up around $57, and the first floor, or support, is down near $53.60. Traders are basically just watching to see if it can punch through that ceiling or if it's going to fall and test the floor.
Okay, let's step back. After looking at the whole market and then diving deep into the weeds, what's the actual takeaway here? The big story is that we are in a market that's just full of mixed messages. Litecoin is the perfect poster child for this confusion. You've got this top-level AI signal flashing a green buy. But when you look at the raw data, the trend, the momentum, the selling pressure, everything looks weak and flat. It's a core conflict that makes it incredibly tough to make a move with any real confidence.
And that really leaves us with the ultimate question, not just for Litecoin, but for this whole market. When you're getting so many contradictory signals, when the headline says one thing, but the details scream another, how do you even begin to tell the difference between a real signal and just noise? That's the challenge for everyone right now. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe this channel.